Aloha and good day. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz. I'm joining you from live stream in Honolulu, Hawaii for eTurbo News and Hawaii News Online. Today we'll be hearing from the Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell, giving us an overview on his take about President Donald Trump down with coronavirus, what it will do to the travel and tourism industry, what it will do to America, and perhaps to the reopening of tourism to Hawaii, what is planned for October 15th. Listen in.
This is a question from eTurbo News from Jürgen Steinmetz. How do you see changes for our national tourism industry in general and Hawaii specifically with President Trump now being COVID positive? Is Hawaii ready for the second test upon arrival?
So when I think our president getting COVID-19 is a message to everybody in our country that this virus is serious, and not practicing wearing a face covering, not practicing physical distancing, not practicing washing your hands, not practicing going around a large group, encouraging gatherings in a large size with no face coverings is irresponsible, dangerous, and exposes people to a virus that you can die from. And now we have our president who became positive with COVID-19 is now being rushed to Walter Reed Hospital. This is serious. And I believe whoever you are as an American citizen, it is a message to you and to all of us that we have to take it seriously. The President of the United States got sick because he didn't practice the proper protocols. And now it's incumbent on the rest of us, and hopefully him and his administration and his supporters will now adopt the practices that almost everyone else has adopted in the state of Hawaii and the city and county of Honolulu. So I want to deliver that message. The other one is I do think it sends a message to everyone as we travel. And we, as you know, as we open up to travel from outside of our state, we're taking on additional risk. But those who are traveling also recognize that risk. Anyone who wants to come to Hawaii has to get on a plane and sit for 5 to 6 hours next to others that they don't know. Hopefully everyone wearing face coverings, that's now mandated, but still taking some risk, even though you may have been tested and have a negative result in your pocket. So we're gonna find out as we open up Hawaii how many people are willing to take that risk. And we're gonna find out how great of a risk it is for all of us to invite visitors back to our shores. But one thing I do know is no one in Hawaii should let down their guard as visitors come back. You know, we looked at Tahiti as an island community that had very few cases, 0 for a long period of time, and opened up to visitors in a 2-test regime, pre-test and a 4-day post-test. They have a population of 280,000, and they had 1,400 cases, a lot for that small population. And when I asked some of the doctors who advise us, why did that occur? They said it was a combination of things, but one of them was the residents of Tahiti, French Polynesia, as visitors came back, they started to relax and feel things were going back to the way it was. And therefore, they stopped practicing wearing face coverings, physical distancing, and other things, gathering in larger groups, and the virus came back. So we need, here on Oahu, as visitors start showing up, we still gotta be really, really careful. And of course, our guests need to be very careful too, so they get the rest of us sick. It's a long answer to your question. I apologize for that.
There might be some that come in there, but the first question is unrelated for you from Casey Harlow with Hawaii Public Radio. What are your thoughts on the state's pre-travel testing plan? Like Mayors Kawakami and Victorino, would you want visitors to take a second COVID test upon arrival?
Yeah. So Casey, I listened to your story this morning on public radio, and I thought it was excellently done. As mayor of the city and county of Honolulu, I also prefer a 2-testing regime. One, a pre-test, 72 hours before leaving, and a second one 4 days later. That's what I would like. What I like and what I can have are two different things. No test is not as good as one test. And one test is better than no test, and two tests are better than one test. And by the way, in certain places, they do more than two tests, they do 3 tests, and that's even better. So as we open up on the 15th of October, which I do support, we need to get as many people tested as possible before they enter Hawaii through a pre-testing regime. Right now, people can come to Hawaii and they do it every day. And they come to Honolulu and they go to Waikiki with no test and they commit to quarantine. We know that people are not following the quarantine and breaking it, and that exposes our residents to a potential spread of the virus. So coming in with a pre-test knowing they're negative is a positive step in the right direction. The City and County of Honolulu, as a result, is working to see if they can't build the capacity for everyone to be tested before they enter Hawaii, both visitors and residents returning once they arrive. And if we can do that without taxing the existing capacity of our labs, which are somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000 tests per day, maximum, then I think we could begin testing everyone who comes in who hasn't been pre-tested. And if we can do that, the next step is, if we see the caseload increase, that we ask the governor to allow us to do a 2-test regime, just like Kauai and Maui are asking. We're not ready to do that yet until we have in place additional testing capacity.
There's a question from
Thank you for listening to Livestream, and anyone wanted to visit us here in Hawaii, please get ready to do this after October 15th, but be careful. Leave coronavirus at home and analyze the risk before getting on the plane. But once you get here, we'll make sure you have a great time. Thank you for listening again. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz. You'll find more on livestream.travel, eturbonews.com, and Hawaii News Online. Talk to you soon. Aloha.